It's the Cool Kids Club. It's terrifying. It's the Cool Kids Club. You should be running, yeah, Justin's a monster. And Amy eats worms in the Cool Kids Club. Cool Kids Club.
Welcome back to the Cool Kids Club podcast.
Oh,
I was really debating on like what voice I should do. I
Uh-huh.
went with the traditional Dracula, but
I liked it.
I was thinking of doing my Vincent Price, which is also fairly good. Like,
can you maybe introduce yourself in that voice?
I'm Justin, one of the hosts of the Cool Kids Club podcast.
That sounds exactly like the gay dinosaur from the Claymation Christmas.
Like Claymation Christmas. Yeah, your spirit animal.
Yes!
Anyway, I'm Justin. Hey.
Hey, I'm Amy, and we are back with the Ghoul Kids Club.
Oh my god.
I'm very excited for today's episode.
Me too. We're in the middle of October, man, and I don't know where we're at. Mm-hmm. As we're recording right now, it's in the 60s. It ain't getting out of the 60s anytime soon.
No.
The leaves are changing. It feels very Halloween.
My weather alert at the bottom of my computer right now says temps to drop, and I like seeing that.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Temps gonna be dropping.
Drop them temps.
Drop them temps. Yeah. The temps have dropped though. It's 67, and this is as warm as it's gonna get today.
Yes, a perfect day for talking spooky stuff.
Yes, and I hope that wherever you are is a perfect autumnal day when you're listening to this as well.
I hope so too.
Because the vibes are gonna be there today for this episode.
Now I have to say, I think so. Today is volume 5 of our series, the Halloween tape.
Yeah.
Of course, we've done this every year. We've done the podcast as well as the Christmas tape, and I have to say, these have become some of my absolute favorite episodes we do. Like, I really enjoy these episodes, these like celebrations of like all the small screen kind of.
Yeah.
We started with some big stuff, and now we're getting into some more obscure stuff, and and I just really like it. I like the idea of the tapes, of the Halloween tape, and we've gone over that.
Let's explain this. So because we've been doing this now for almost 5 years. So we'll kind of, if somebody's just jumping in or this is their first Halloween tape episode.
Well, very briefly, yeah.
So this just started because Justin and I, and I'm sure many of you all, we had a Halloween tape and we had a Christmas tape. And it was quite literally a VHS that our parents had recorded specials and things off of TV, and every year, put it on the Halloween tape, and so it's just in the order that it's in. And both of these tapes have been lost to time for us. But that's what sparked.
But we're keeping the spirit of it alive.
We're keeping it alive, and Justin has quite literally kept it alive because he has found and compiled our original tapes.
Well, some of the original stuff. But I've done my best, but a lot of it unfortunately has to be by memory.
Right.
So.
But that's the idea of the tape. So if you're like, what do you mean by like a Halloween tape? That's where this originated from, and you may have had one of these as a kid as well.
Stuff that would have been, in the case of the Halloween tape, spooky stuff to get you in the mood that you would have had on a VHS tape, and it could be anything. Yeah, it could be cartoons, it could be TV specials, it could be. We've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And today, what are we doing, Amy? We got two on, and I feel like this is the most obscure Halloween tape stuff we've done so far, definitely. But I also feel like it's very me and you.
It is
specifically.
Very
I feel like the first one is very me, and the second one's very you. But they're both us.
They're both us, and we both watched both of them a lot.
So what do we got on deck?
We have got Monster Mania. Which of course we'll get into, but this was an AMC. And then we have the original Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments.
Yeah, which is a little later than the time frame we normally we cover, which is 2004, but
integral to my
Yes.
particular love of horror movies, because that was around the time I stopped being a weenie. I was in high school,
Right.
and I started watching horror movies. So yeah, so I mean, both of these were very integral to the, to the growth of the two, America's spookiest siblings that you're hearing today.
Absolutely. And as is tradition with the Halloween tape, we're going to take a few commercial breaks throughout. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But I think, Amy, do you want to go ahead and just pop the Halloween tape in and let's get started. Let's fire up the VCR.
Sure.
Dust off the tape and let's get started. Push play.
Well,
right.
Justin, so since this was for you, this was really formative.
I can hear the song in my, as it's okay, time to start talking about Monster Mania. The theme song started playing in my head. It was like, all right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. And for anyone interested, this is, both of these things actually are in their entirety on YouTube.
Yes.
To watch.
Yes.
So you guys can, and I think a lot of you will maybe have heard of the 100 Scariest Movie Moments, but maybe not Monster Mania. So I implore you. Monster Mania is only an hour. So,
yes.
I implore you to watch this if you
and we'll post links actually on social media.
So Justin, tell us a little bit about what exactly this is. Monster Mania sounds like it could be anything. What is this?
So it's just an hour long documentary that aired initially in 1997. That was the first airing, and then it aired for several years after that.
Yeah.
During Monster Fest, before they even changed the name to Fear Fest on the AMC network. It was
right.
Monster Fest, and AMC Monster Fest was pretty big for me in discovering some of the classics.
Yes.
I don't know, I just remember it was around the time I had a TV in my room for the first time, and just putting on, and I could do stuff like just put it on and fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
And and during October it was Monster Mania. It was and they were always playing, the Halloween sequels or the Friday the 13th sequels or Chucky and just a lot of stuff like that. And this Monster Mania, 1997 is when it first aired. And I know I say formative a lot, but holy crap, this was very formative for my love of horror and me being like a monster kid, because I feel like it didn't at the time it definitely did introduce me to stuff that
you were already familiar with the Universal monsters,
and that's mainly really what it's about.
Into that. Yeah.
Yeah, because really the first horror movie things that I got into was the old Universal monster movies, the stuff that our dad liked and that we had on tape. So I was already kind of familiar with the big S tier classics, your Frankensteins, your Draculas, your Wolfmans,
your Wolfmans and
whatnot. your Wolfsmen. But I definitely, this was not on the Halloween tape proper, but I can tell you with 100% certainty that I taped this off of AMC Monster Fest and watched it all the time, whether it was Halloween or not. I really, really loved this special.
Yeah. And it just, it, like you said, it starts, it's very much a documentary. It's just about essentially a brief history of horror movies. I mean, is essentially what it is. It's very introductory. So probably for someone who is not as informed about horror movies. So, if you were somebody, again, who, had seen all these movies, you're probably not learning anything new. But for us, who had not seen a lot of these movies, this was a lot of exposure to different themes and types of horror movies. So,
yeah, and it's hosted, we should say, and narrated by the incomparable Jack Palance.
Oh,
tell me about Jack Palance. I can't believe we haven't done a Jack Palance episode yet.
I'm gonna be honest. My knowledge / exposure to Jack Palance comes from City Slickers 2, Curly's Gold,
Sure.
which I watched as a kid, and our mom's friend saying that he was so ugly that he was handsome.
Yes.
Which just became a huge joke in our family for years.
Which is a thing. Someone being so weird looking that they're attractive.
Yes. But it was like you just said it so perfectly. And like, I get it. But it was those two things and Monster Mania. I obviously know he is a screen legend, but those are the things I knew him from.
Now I agree, as in like most of my frame of reference for Jack Palance was the City Slickers movies. And this. But you also have to throw in, at least for me, Batman 89. He is Boss Grissom.
Yes.
And for the limited screen time that he has in that movie, as he dies pretty early on.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just the line delivery, the chewing up the scenery, I still do that. I have several friends who, that one of our running jokes is, I'm a number one guy.
Just
and don't forget
Palance.
your lucky deck.
Classic Palance.
Yeah, and so this is him.
Screen legend, Jack Palance. May he rest in peace.
I think he was, he became famous playing villains in, the 50s and 60s.
Yes. Our parents were certainly very familiar with him.
Yeah.
To us, though, he was, City Slickers and Monster Fest.
But he's perfect for something like this because he just naturally has a lot of menace in his
he can't help
voice and the way he talks. And that's why he got a lot of villain roles and excelled in stuff like that and got famous from it. But also the amount of ham. The amount of he's hamming it up. He's yucking it up. And he's pretty toned down in Monster Mania.
Yeah, but he could ham it up. He could ham it up with the best of them.
Yeah, and this I feel like has just the right amount of ham from him.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice, and he's not being too over the top, but just enough to where it's campy and it's fun, and so the wraparound segments. So there's no, well, we'll get into it a little more here in a minute, but there's no talking heads. It's just him narrating it, and he's walking around this spooky, the neon lit laboratory. It's not a laboratory. It's a laboratory.
It is a laboratory. Yes.
And doing things like, pouring fluids from one beaker into another beaker, or he's taking a sip of whatever smoking chemical is in this cup.
It's so vibey.
Oh,
whoever
my God.
did that set design with that song.
With the theme, which I could not find by itself. But my gosh, what an absolute, spooky
it's great
vibe it is.
The flutter of bats, the clap of thunder, the thud of earth upon a freshly dug grave. These are the sights and sounds of terror.
And I will say, so in the version on YouTube that we'll link to has, it's advertised as being hosted by Jack Palance and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Now, the version that I had, which I'm pretty sure was the original airing from 97.
I think so.
Did not have, Elvira wasn't involved.
Yeah, that was added.
All.
Yeah.
That was added later, and I think especially because she hosted the sequels.
That makes sense.
Which we'll talk about.
Yeah,
but,
that makes
I'm
sense.
never going to complain about added Elvira. So, I mean,
she's great.
Her presence can only make things better.
And it's just a little, like you said, a bumper at the beginning and the end. So
yeah, and that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. Now, before we get into the actual content of the documentary, Amy, I hate to interrupt, but I think it might be time for our first commercial break. We gotta keep our sponsors happy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that.
All right, we'll be back.
Creepy crawlers, They're squirmy and wormy and purple and green, the grossest little creatures that you've ever seen.
Creepy crawlers!
Build a monster mold with the colored plastic goop and make a creepy crawler from a yucky monster soup. They're yucky, squirmy, wormy, very scary, sometimes hairy, squiggly, wiggly, creepy crawling.
Creepy crawlers!
Gross out your sister, embarrass your dad. You can be a little creep without being bad.
Creepy Crawlers Workshop with plastic goof.
Hallmark has the things to make Halloween a day of double takes. Scare up some friends with spooky props. T-shirt and tails and bop and drop. Cast a Hallmark spell that could turn for the worst, for myths, for masks, for beanies you'll flourish. With things from Hallmark, it's no bother. One Halloween take deserves another. Look where Hallmark products lurk. You'll find things most frightening. This new bizarre can make your Halloween enlightening.
TGIF says...
Trick or treat!
First, Sabrina's Halloween party raises the dead. That's not as scary as this.
I'm just practicing.
And then, something really scary. Another Blair Witch parody.
None of this is my fault!
All new Hughley's Horror right after all new Spooky Sabrina on TGIF.
We used to be a country, you know?
That Creepy Crawlers theme song from
Oh,
that
I
commercial
know.
specifically has been stuck in my head since 1992.
Unable to get it
I
out.
absolutely had that original Creepy Crawler set. I got it for Christmas,
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
And that's just one of those like theme songs that for whatever reason I could pull it out of the recesses of my brain at any time you need it. I've never needed it, but it's there.
Well, right now, you know?
Right now comes to mind.
Right now comes to mind, exactly. Yeah, well, thank you to our sponsors.
Our sponsors, Creepy Crawlers,
Hallmark.
and
ABC Disney.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's where we're getting our big bucks from.
That is where we're getting our bit. Why am I still editing these and you're still doing the research? If we're backed by...
Yeah, we could hire a team to do this stuff.
Jeez. We're really like grassroots over here.
Got that Disney money.
Let's talk about what exactly does this entail? Like I said, it's kind of like a brief history of horror. They do have a quite a bit of emphasis on those early Universal monster movies.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that
really,
is the main thorough. That is the theme. Is like
yeah.
It's not even horror. It's monsters, right?
It is monster
mania.
specific. Yes. Yeah. It's not
And
just
it's-
any horror movie.
Yeah. So it kind of you get your introduction to the classic monsters: Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy. There's
Creature. Well,
yeah,
he's later,
and
but
one of the things that I thought was the absolute coolest thing, which was totally new to me at the time, was that it contains footage from the first Frankenstein movie, which is not the Boris Karloff version that everyone thinks of when they think of the old Frankenstein movie. It's the one that was actually made by Thomas Edison.
The Thomas Edison
in 1910.
Damn.
I don't think at this point I'd ever seen a movie that old. I've rarely seen any movies that old, even now. So this was like my introduction to that. Like, and of course, a lot of we talk about sort of there's a lot of talk about the masters of horror. Lon Chaney, who's was a big star in the 20s in The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Phantom of the Opera. Those are sort of the big ones. The Man Who Laughs, I don't know that they talk about that one really.
I don't think so.
But
these guys, you can't talk about any other more modern monsters before talking about them because they laid the foundation,
Yeah, and this really is kind of it's almost like a primer, a monster primer. And again, this aired in 1997, so there's nothing newer than that, obviously.
Yeah.
So this is it's almost everything is sort of in relation to the universal the classic monsters.
Yeah.
Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. We trace the various iterations of them throughout the years, and then sort of talk about when those went out of fashion over
And
in
kind of
different
the
time periods,
other
and what
ages
else
that
kind of
came
took
up.
their place.
Like there's quite a bit of emphasis on the atomic age of horror.
See, I really like that stuff too, because again, I was familiar with Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman and all that, but then it's like, yeah, when these kind of go out of fashion by the 50s and we enter that atomic age of horror movies, like I didn't know really much about that. I knew a little bit because our dad, as opposed to anyone else's dad, I guess.
Right.
I had seen some of this stuff, and by atomic age horror, I mean things like space aliens,
The original Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
giant creatures, monsters. The Blob is one, and I remember specifically 20 Million Miles to Earth. Do you remember that? I remember Dad had that on tape.
I might remember if I saw parts of it.
You probably will, yeah. Look at the monster from that, and you'll probably remember it.
Because that was, as I've said many, many times on here, that I was a scaredy cat and I didn't watch a lot of horror as a kid. But like Universal monsters never scared me, and like atomic age horror didn't scare me too much. So like it's something that I could watch with you guys and enjoy with you guys because it didn't scare me very much.
Yeah, you weren't laying up at night like scared of like a giant spider attacking or something.
Right. So I really enjoyed a lot of this because, again, I'm like 10 at this point when this comes out, and I can pretty much watch all of it and not get like real freaked out. It's not till later.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot of the sort of mid-century stuff that at the time in 97 I wasn't as familiar with. I would say that this was honestly my introduction to Hammer horror movies.
Oh,
if you're not
for sure,
familiar with what Hammer is a British production company that got famous starting in the very late 50s, sort of through the 70s. And they produced tons and tons of horror and thriller movies, but they got famous on their series, their sort of reimaginings of the classic monsters. You get, a lot of them star Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. You get the new Frankenstein movies, the new Dracula movies, and they're very much, by today's standards, they're very tame. But
and
by
those
the
were
standards,
like mostly in the 60s, right?
So the very first one, not the first Hammer movie, but the one that kind of like put him on the map and started the whole thing was Dracula, aka Horror of Dracula, which I believe was 1958.
Okay, so late 50s.
And so, the very late 50s. And then that was immediately followed by Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And then they were kind of off to the races.
And this very like Technicolor.
That's the thing too, is that like they were
obviously the OG Universal monsters is all black and white. So this was a very
these are Technicolor, and they were, again, by today's standards, very tame, but they were bloodier. Like you had Technicolor blood, whereas like in the old Universal monster movies, you never see blood.
Yeah.
And they were sexier. They just were. I mean, that was more of a theme. And Hammer horror movies are one of my favorite aesthetics. As a diehard horror fan now, I love delving into Hammer horror. Because they're mostly period movies, films made in the 60s. Yeah. So it's like I don't know. I love it. I love
something about them. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was really my introduction to them. It talked talked about a lot of movies that I hadn't seen at the time and showed clips. So basically Jack Palance is narrating clips and trailers from various movies, kind of taking you through. And then as I got older in the several years after this and sort of like started like exploring Hammer horror as a thing, it was a lot of like, oh, I remember this from Monster Mania. I remember this scene from Monster Mania.
Yeah.
And that was big for me with this, because that was brand new to me of like, oh, there's like another generation of these monster movies that's different. And I thought that was really cool. And I own all these because
You own most horror movies.
Own most movies, yes.
But you know what is really lacking from this is there's not a lot of focus on the 80s slashers monsters.
Yeah, so we get a lot of, there's some time spent in the 60s, which is mainly talking about Hammer horror.
Yeah.
And Vincent Price, like the Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe adaptations, which again, sort of my first exposure to those, which I love now.
Yeah.
And then we get into the 70s and we talk about The Exorcist and we talk about Alien and so the big heavy hitters, the Omen. Yeah.
We do talk about Halloween.
Yes, yeah, definitely. But yeah, there's definitely a vibe of like Jack Palance does not have time for your 80s slasher movie shenanigans. They basically glaze over Freddy and Jason.
Yeah.
And Michael to an extent, but less so Michael. As there's like one line basically in the whole thing that's like, the classic monsters were replaced by characters named Freddy and Jason. He's so derisive.
I know he is. I mean, it's just like
he's old school. These aren't monsters.
Yeah,
which I disagree with, but
Oh yeah.
But I would never tell Jack that to his face because he could kick my ass.
He would. He would rise from the grave today.
I was gonna say he's dead, but he would still do it. I still would
now
talk shit to Jack Palance.
You know what we do get? What? A little glimpse of 90s Universal Monsters.
That's where we end. We end on this hopeful note.
Yeah.
Right? So, because it's, 97. We've gone through the first golden age of the monsters.
Sure.
Which was, the 30s and 40s. And then the second sort of golden age of the monsters where it gets, like Hammer horror. Oh, they also talk about like the Andy Warhol movies, Dracula and Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And just kind of that. And Rocky Horror. There's a big section on Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
Of just sort of like how this new sexual, Technicolor era.
Uh-huh.
And then we end on and then it's like, okay, and then it dips off in the 70s and we don't really have them anymore. And through the 80s.
Stupid Freddy and Jason.
Freddy and Jason dominating the box office. But we get like a glimmer of, we end on a hopeful note. Because this is the 90s. And what have we done an entire episode on? I would say our first Halloween as a podcast. Universal Monsters in the 90s specifically. Yep. I'm talking about Universal Studios. I'm talking about the Doritos Pepsi.
I'm talking about Universal Monsters stamps.
I'm talking about the stamps. I'm talking about the... it was a big deal when those got released. They had the big VHS tapes, you could get, and all the sequels. I mean, there's like 30 of them, and I remember those covers of the tapes.
Yeah,
and that's what we kind of end on is like, yep, the monsters are back in their own way in the 90s,
and they're never going to go away again.
They're never going to die. They're never going to die. So we get. If you want a deep dive discussion into Universal Monsters in the 90s, check that episode out. It was very early. But
very early, yeah.
Because it's one of my favorite things that's ever existed.
Oh, God, it was good. To be able to go to Universal Studios in the 90s, like, if I could time travel, like, I'm not killing Hitler.
I'm going to Universal Studios in the early 90s, and I'm seeing the monster shows. I'm, of course, going to Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah.
I'm riding Back to the Future. I'm riding Jaws. Someone else can do Hitler. That's fine. I don't, I'm not... That's fine. But I'm going to focus on me, on my well-being. And that means...
That's what everybody else is doing, so why not?
That's what everybody says they're going to kill Hitler. So why's it got to be me? Why can't I just go back and, ride the Jurassic Park ride with the monsters and, an Alfred Hitchcock impersonator or something?
Go see go back to Disney and see the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like,
oh my God.
Sit on that giant oatmeal cream pie.
That sounded dirty.
All right, moving on.
Now, we should say, before we move on, that there were 2 sequels made, as we mentioned earlier, both hosted by Elvira, both of which are great. 1999 had Attack of the 50-Foot Monster Mania, which is basically that a 50s atomic age horror that we talked about
like
a few
a deep
minutes
dive
ago.
into that.
It's a deep dive into that of
okay.
like giant monsters, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, It Came from Outer Space, all that
Love
good
it.
stuff. And then again in 2000, there was the second sequel, Bride of Monster Mania, also hosted by Elvira, which focuses on women in horror.
I've never seen either of those.
I've seen both of them, and they're both excellent. Yeah, I mean, they're
I'll
not...
have to check
The
those
first
out.
one has a whole lot of nostalgia for me, because I had it taped, and I watched it constantly. So I don't have the nostalgia for the sequels, but they're really good. And again, they're hosted by Elvira. I'll watch whatever she does. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before we get into the second focus of this episode, our 100 Scariest Movie Moments from Bravo, who I would like to remind you used to show operas.
Yes.
And now is the Real Housewives channel.
Also, they used to show Twin Peaks.
Oh my God.
That was the first time I ever saw an episode of Twin Peaks, I think, was on Bravo.
On Bravo? That's interesting.
With the Log Lady intros that they filmed especially for Bravo.
That's very interesting.
There you go.
That's very interesting.
Little sidebar.
Well,
Sorry, didn't mean to derail the conversation.
That's okay. Well, we need to hear from our sponsors again. So
Yes,
we
we
keep
do.
the lights on over here. The flickering candle lights.
The flickering candle. They will blow these candles out.
Club. So let's hear from our sponsors and before we hop in to the 100 Scariest Movie Moments.
They're coming! Marshmallows! Frankenbed and Count Chocula. Now all the monster cereals have bigger monster-sized marshmallows. Count Chocula has enormous chocolatey marshmallows. It's a delicious part of this nutritious breakfast. New monster marshmallows are here.
The monster marshmallows are here.
They're everywhere.
Whoa!
Flair, the world title, and the future of Hulkamania on the line in a steel cage. WCW presents Halloween Havoc, Sunday, October 23rd, live and only on pay-per-view.
On the next MST3K. Mystery Science Theater 3000, next Saturday at 5 and 11 p.m. Eastern.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you again to our sponsors. WCW
yes.
doesn't exist anymore.
I'm just proud of you for remembering that.
You know.
Yeah.
We've done enough wrestling episodes.
You have been forced. I have forced you to sit and be my captive audience for a lot of wrestling talk over the years.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
It's
I'm
good to know
learning
some
a
of
lot.
it has stuck.
Some of it is stuck. All right, let's talk 100 Scariest Movie Moments, Justin.
Amy, please. I'm excited for you to talk about 100 Scariest Movie Moments because this special meant a lot to me, but I feel like it really meant a lot to you. And I think it was because of where you were in your horror fandom at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you know, this came out, first aired on Bravo in late October 2004.
Yep.
I was a senior in high school, graduated in 2005. This is 5 hour-long episodes. And what would they do? I guess 20 moments per episode.
Mm-hmm.
It
moves fast, man.
It does move very fast. Yeah, so this is definitely one of those of that era. This is a talking head pop culture type of show.
2004 had to be we're getting to the peak of that type of show, which you and I loved. And what do I mean by that type of show?
I mean, like an I Love Thee type show, and I love the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Oh, you and I just ate that stuff up.
Love that show. Best week
shocking,
ever.
shocking, right? Even back then, we were into the nostalgia.
I know.
Even if it was for stuff that we never lived through. Like, I would love, I love the 70s, you know?
Loved it. Yeah. Oh, my God. And I mean, and again, lots of that's up on YouTube as well. And sometimes I'll just go watch, because I'm just like, there are jokes from those shows that I say and think about to this day.
Yeah, yeah.
That it's just that maybe that was my introduction to that song or show or whatever. Maybe it wasn't, but that joke has stuck in my head forever.
Sure.
So this was very similar in that sense. You had a bunch of people, mostly kind of B-list celebrities, although there were some heavy hitters in there.
I gotta say, I'm gonna go through. I'm not gonna go through the whole list of guests.
Well, I guess it was like a mixture. It was a mixture of people who were very directly related to horror.
Yes.
You know, directors and bigger actors and things, and then it was a lot of people who were there for the comedic value. You know, you had the Budweiser twins. And
and a lot of Upright Citizens Brigade comedians, like Rob Hubel and
Rob Riggle's too much for me. He's too fucking much for me. He's always been too much for me. Yeah, it's just that. Yeah,
I can handle Rob. I probably couldn't handle a Rob Riggle vehicle, but I can handle him in supporting roles.
Support when he comes in and does an episode somewhere.
Yeah.
Fine. But
or when he talks about eating the guy's dick on the boat in Step Brothers, and he's like, "Pow!"
Yeah, like that.
I can handle
Catalina wine mixer. I can handle him.
Yeah.
In that, but in this, I actually watched this in almost its entirety the other night. We watched the first half, and then we skipped to the top 20. Of course, I have seen it, even in recent memory, because it is even on YouTube 3 hours and 45 minutes long. But it's on there. And so this is, you're obviously, they're counting down 100 top scariest movie moments. But it is, it's unlike Monster Mania. You don't have one person, recognizable person narrating it. There's no
No, you have a ghost child narrating it.
You have the narration on this. Let me see if I can do it.
Yeah, do it.
And now, the 100 scariest movie moments.
Yeah, that's
We're
pretty good.
Back with Rob Riggle. No, they don't say that.
And now let's see what Rob Riggle thinks about the Michael Keaton movie Pacific Heights.
It is. This was really formative for me. Now, I definitely watched Monster Mania with Justin. But it didn't spark a deep love of horror that Justin.
This is much more thorough.
This is much more thorough. This is, this has all your heavy hitters, but this also has some sci-fi movies that you really wouldn't consider.
I love
horror.
that they had some other non-traditional stuff like scary sci-fi.
And even some they have Willy Wonka and Wizard of Oz in there because there are some genuinely terrifying moments in those movies.
And they have the sci-fi they have the first Terminator movie, Jurassic Park, which again these aren't horror movies, but they have horror elements and the scene where the raptors are stalking them in the kitchen is scary.
Is just as scary as Michael sitting up
in right?
Halloween.
Yeah,
it's terrifying. So that's what I really love about these. And you have to think, so it's 2004, so again, there's nothing past 2004.
I would love an updated version of this.
There is.
Well, I know there are.
Shudder.
I know there are. Yes, I know that. I know.
Yeah.
But I want them to bring back all the talking heads that were in this who are still with us.
Okay.
And just let's do that and add the last 20 years into it.
That's true. Now let's talk about.
I am, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I am looking at the list of talking heads.
Yeah, I misspoke. Show. It is not mostly B-list.
No, it is not. I'm just going to real quick, and I'm not going to name them all.
Heavy hitters.
But oh my god, looking at this. If you're a horror movie fan, a lot of these names are going to mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
Wes Craven, Tobe Hooper, Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, John Carpenter, Sean Cunningham, George Romero, Stephen King, Mick Garris, Martin fucking Scorsese. Marty's in it. John Landis, Clive Barker, Stan Winston, Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Ron Perlman, Roger Corman, Dario Argento.
I lied. This is not mostly. Why am I remembering
Bruce Campbell, Olivia Hussey, holy crap, Dee Wallace, Felissa Rose. Gosh, who else we got? Jennifer Tilly. Courtney Cox and David Arquette.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of horror legends like Betsy Palmer and Adrian King and Ari Lehman from the first Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And David
Why am
Hess.
I only remembering the Budweiser twins?
Well, there's
And,
4 reasons I'll bet.
Jesus.
4 reasons.
That's not why I would remember them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm only
well, and they
remembering
get a lot.
the
They get a
ones
lot of airtime for a special
think-
that has the services of Martin Scorsese. The Budweiser twins. Get
I
a lot
forgot
of
Marty
airtime.
was in it, so if that tells you anything, and I just watched it a week ago.
There you go.
I'm like, there was way too much Rob Riggle and not enough, Toby Hooper.
I don't think I can't support this Rob Riggle. He's okay.
Oh, he's just the energy's a lot. The energy's a lot.
It's a very specific energy.
Mm-hmm. Now, so there are, you got to think at this time in 2004, I had started watching horror movies. I think at that point I had maybe watched like the original Halloween, and I had started. I mean, I feel like when you're in high school from 01 to 05, like I was, there was, and living in a small town, there was nothing you did more with your friends than just go to the movies.
Sure.
Like, I went to...
Or rent movies.
Or rent movies, right.
Yeah.
But it was like, if you're going to go do something with your friends, it is go out to dinner and go to a movie, and then, like, go back to somebody else's house.
That's the default weekend plan.
That's the default weekend plan, and, I mean, especially when I started driving...
Yeah.
And like had a job and made, a little bit of spending money. That's all my friends and I did.
Yeah.
That is all we did. Like, unless we rented a movie and stayed at somebody's house, like it was like, I mean, I can remember, it's like, especially in the summer when you could do it more, it was like, I've already seen everything I want to see at the movies this week, but like, we want to go. So like let's go see Charlie's Angels 2. Like it was just,
you just got, like, the movie itself often wasn't the point. I mean, sometimes it was.
So because of this, I mean, obviously, like, I had friends who wanted to watch horror movies. And
so you nutted up and went and started seeing horror movies.
And so I would go and see them. And my best friend Jessie, her dad is a huge horror movie buff. And his house was decorated in he had all kinds of memorabilia and stuff. And so that helped as well, because I remember watching Friday the 13th for the first time at
Now,
his
don't
house.
get too far into this, Amy, because... our Ghoul Kids Club Halloween special, our next episode, is about this very topic, our specific horror movie memories.
That's true. But I'm just saying, this is...
It's that era.
When I really started. So, there were some movies I obviously knew and had seen. I'd seen Psycho, I'd seen Alien, all that kind of stuff. But there were a lot of movies on here that were new to me. And there's still movies on here I haven't seen,
There's still a couple on here. There's 1 or 2 maybe I haven't
I'd have
seen.
to look at the full list. I know that when Shudder did this same concept 3 years ago or something, I kept a list of all the ones that I had seen, and I still have a list on Letterboxd of the handful that I have not seen. I think there's maybe 15 that I haven't seen.
Okay.
And every now and then I'll check
now I'm going to
them
have to go through this list too and figure out how many of these I haven't seen. I have certainly seen almost all of them.
Yeah,
but I'm going to say I haven't seen
probably
all of them.
One of the big ones that's always like high on everybody's list that I've never seen is Audition, and I probably never will see it.
Oh, you should watch Audition, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It just seems like it wouldn't be my.
It's an experience.
Yeah,
no, you should watch Audition.
I should. Okay.
I mean, it's disturbing as hell. I mean, I don't know what else I can say about it without giving anything away. But oh yeah, it's a fucked up movie.
Well, do you want to? Let's go ahead. Like, I want you to go ahead and tell us what Bravo's 100 top scariest movie moments, what their top 5 were.
Right. So we should say, you and I are going to give our top 5.
We are
not scariest movies, scariest movie moments.
Yeah.
Not the movies themselves necessarily.
Yeah.
We're gonna, after our last commercial break, we're gonna come back and do this. But yeah, let's look at what. We're not going to go through all 100, obviously. I figured we'd look at their top 5.
Nope, that's the rest of the
compared
episode.
To ours.
We're going to go through all 100.
All 100. Get ready. Buckle up, buckaroo.
Call up Rob Riggle.
Call up Rob Riggle.
Rob
I need to get him thoughts.
The Bare Naked Ladies or whatever. Random. They did. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, some of it was very random.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right, Justin, what was their number 5?
Their number 5 was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Specifically, the scene where Leatherface kills Kirk, the first kill of the movie,
Yes.
where
With
he
the
kills him with
door
the mallet
open,
and he
or, you know.
slides the door.
Yeah.
That was number 5. Number 4 is Psycho. Interestingly enough, not the shower scene.
Not the shower scene. Not the shower scene. Not the bees.
Not the bees. No. Yeah, not the shower scene, which is of like the most famous scene, like one of the most famous scenes in movie
horror
history
ever. Yeah.
But no, the death of Arbogast, who he comes in the house and falls back down the stairs. Psycho is a classic. I watched Psycho a few weeks ago for the first time in several years, and man, I mean, what am I going to say about Psycho that hasn't been said by way better and smarter people than me over the years? But I mean, Jesus, what an absolute masterclass.
You don't see it coming.
That scene is honestly, like other than the shower scene, that is the scariest scene probably, and it might be the scariest scene because it's really jarring and it's really you know something's about to happen, but you don't know what. Mm-hmm. And just the way it's shot is so
disorienting.
It's very disorienting. Yes.
Yeah. It's very unique and very cool, especially for that time period. I mean, obviously Alfred Hitchcock was known for being unique. Number 3, in a movie with a lot of scary moments, honestly, you have The Exorcist, specifically the scene where her head spins around. I mean, that's classic.
Yeah. Number 2 is the chest burster scene from Alien.
Classic. Love it.
Also just unbelievable. Just so,
I mean,
and they did like did you watch Alien Earth?
I haven't watched it yet. I wanted to wait till it had all come out.
Boy, it's done and it's awesome. Yeah. We don't have to keep this in the show or not, but in Alien Earth they do a chest burster thing and
an homage.
You know what's going to happen. Like that's the thing in the original Alien. It happens at the beginning and you don't know what's about to happen, but Alien Earth did a really great job of like, I know what's going to happen, but we're going to drag this out for like an episode and a half of you're waiting for the time bomb to go off.
Oh no, you know it's inside of them, but
yeah, and like they can maybe tell there's something wrong, but they're up and walking around and talking, but they're not themselves, and you know that the bomb's about to go off at any moment.
Oh my god, the dread.
Yeah,
the dread.
And number 1 on Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments, my favorite movie of all time, Jaws.
And I feel like this is a somewhat controversial number 1 pick.
You think so?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of, and I don't feel in this camp, but I think there's a lot of people who think Jaws is not a horror movie.
And you know what? Let me speak. Can I speak to that for a minute?
Go ahead and speak to it. Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. And I think that
I think you're wrong.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think the people who think that are wrong.
Oh, no, yeah.
I know that you don't think that.
I don't feel that way.
It's a way of discrediting horror, and people always do that when a movie is actually really fucking good and not
well
like
done
and not like
technically
B-movie schlock that they want horror to be. Oh well, it's not horror. It's too good. It can't be horror. Jaws is a horror movie. Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what else you want. I'm sorry that they're Academy Award winning movies. Like they're still horror. It's still horror.
Yeah, it's the.
I'm sorry, but the opening scene in Jaws, which is the number top 1 moment on this show, where the shark, who you don't see at all, kills Chrissy Watkins.
Yep.
It's absolutely terrifying. It's still scary when I watch it, and I've watched that movie 500 times.
Yeah. It is so scary. It's just that feeling of hopelessness. And like, there is nothing. I mean, her date is laid down drunk on the beach. You don't see the shark at all. And it's just that like, her being torn like back and forth.
Yeah, you're forced to sit there and imagine what's going on right under the surface. You know what's happening. But you don't see it. You're just seeing her reaction to what's happening under the surface, and it's so scary.
It is
and
so
she's
scary.
So good in it. She's so.
Oh yeah.
It really seems like she is dying. Like it's awful.
Yeah, and that's how it opens.
Yes.
Like that, and that's the thing is that's the opening. There are a lot of moments in that movie that are very scary, but but like they just go right on in, and they're just like, here's what we're dealing with. Like
Yes.
it really sets the. I mean, it is in top 5 one of the best movies ever made. One of my favorite movies, and it's terrifying. And yeah, I think you're right. It's nowadays there's a lot more what we would call quote unquote like smart horror, right? Like people who are.
I hate that term.
I do too, but I'm just saying, like, people who are Ari Aster and stuff who are making like technically, very filmy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very filmy kind of horror movies.
And I would argue people have been doing that since the beginning of horror movies.
100%. But it discounts everything. It's like not everything is like a, sequel released in February, like low budget. Like not everything horror is anything it wants to be.
Yeah. And horror
and
horror
every
movies
genre.
in specific, I think, are an art form unto themselves. Is a lot of
Yeah.
it bad? Yeah, probably by a technical standpoint and all that. And I'm not defending, every schlock splatterfest, B and C movie that's ever been made.
Yeah.
But horror can be just as much art as anything else, and I hate when people paint it with the wide brush of like it's all bad, it's all less than, and you're less than if you like it.
Or
because it's
of,
for the lowest common denominator, like fuck off.
As if we're not all literally afraid of something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm like, it's
I'm afraid of
unifying,
being eaten by a shark.
Yeah. I'd say most people are.
I'm afraid of
They
an
don't think
alien
about
bursting
it all
out of
the
my
time.
chest.
I don't want anything bursting out of my chest. This is terrible.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't
I
tell
don't
me
want
somebody
Leatherface to
wants
bash in my skull with a mallet.
No, please no. Push me
Please
down
no.
some stairs. I don't want to get possessed.
No, I would prefer not to.
I would prefer not to. It's hell on the body, the joints. It's
All right,
terrible.
so that's their top 5.
That's their top 5, which is a strong top 5.
It's damn. I mean, classics all.
Now, I will say, since we're getting ready to head into our last commercial break and then talk about our top 5, I want to know, any of these moments in their top 5, did they scare the shit out of you when you first saw them? Any of these?
I will
All of
say
them?
one of these made my top 5.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, that's all I need to know then.
So there's a little teaser before the commercial break.
A little tease. All right.
And we should say, you and I haven't seen each other's top 5, so
We have not. This is brand new.
Yep.
Love it.
Hey, let's shoot over to the commercial break, the last commercial break of the episode.
All right.
And see what the sponsors have in store for us. We'll come back with our individual top 5 scariest movie moments.
It's a gloomy day in my neighborhood. Hey, Beetlebum! Off my grass! Beetlebum? Mow this food! You old buzzard. Oh, it's a gloomy day. Beetlebum! Off my street! Gonna be one of those days. Booga booga! Go rat on somebody else. Hey, now there's an outfit that's me. Figure so cleverly. Ta-da! Skipping school, Mr. Bugjuice? He's not Bugjuice. It's Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Uh-oh.
This year, AMC wanted something big for the biggest Monster Fest ever, so we asked legendary horror director Roger Corman to deliver his most diabolical creation yet.
Who?
Himself. This Halloween, watch Roger Corman's The Phantom Eye, a world's premiere horror film so big and scary we have to show it to you in 35 pieces. Don't miss a single episode, all Halloween weekend on AMC's Monster Fest.
Sometimes I even scare myself.
Hello, darling. It's me again, that gal in the dress who always says yes, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And I've decided to come out of the coffin to host TBS's Halloween movie Schlockathon. 2 full days of mind-numbingly bad movies guaranteed to shock and amaze even the most depraved horror fan. And yours truly will be hosting the festivities in the flesh. And, not much else. The TBS Halloween movie Schlockathon, 12:05 Eastern, today on TBS. Brought to you by Coors Light.
All right, we are back from our last commercial break of the show, and we've got our top 5s queued up, Justin, and ready to go.
Yep. Do you want to get us started? I say we do. Let's go back and forth.
Okay.
We'll start number 5, head to number 1.
Okay.
So why don't you give us your number 5 scariest movie moments? I want to emphasize that again. Not movies necessarily.
Yep.
Movie moments in the tradition of Bravo.
Yes. And I also want to preface by just saying that these are the moments that scared me the most when I first saw them.
Correct.
Right? So they may not still scare me, although some of them do. Because nowadays I've seen so many things that
I went by like yes, exactly, like
my
how did
feeling
these
at the
impact
time.
me when I saw them initially?
Yes. I will say there are 2 on this list that if I think about them, they will still frighten me. Almost 40.
You're getting ready to think about them.
No, I'm just, yeah. But a couple of them, it was more in the moment. So, my number 5 is The Shining.
Okay.
The Woman in the Tub.
All right.
That's my number 5.
Watched The Shining the other night, one of my all-time favorite movies.
You joked that maybe all of your moments would be from The Shining.
I could make a top 5 of just The Shining, yeah. And guess what?
Now,
The Shining's on my list, so
I bet it is. There are many scary moments in The Shining, and I feel like I did watch The Shining probably in high school. This was something you had already watched, Dad had already watched. I know we've told the story about you watching that with Dad, and it scared the ever-living shit out of you.
Yeah.
But I think I watched this probably high school, and it's pretty fucking scary to be watching.
It is still very scary.
It is still that scene unnerves me, but it doesn't stay with me like it did then.
Right. Yeah.
So, tell us your number 5, Justin.
Well, right off the bat, I'm gonna copy one from Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. My number 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
Leatherface kills Kurt with the mallet. I remember the first time I saw this was high school. I was seeing this girl, kind of wasn't. It was kind of a thing, kind of wasn't. But anyway, we decided that we were going to rent a movie one night, and we wanted to see something classic that neither of us had ever seen, and we realized neither of us had ever seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is, of course, just absolutely notorious. So we rented that probably from Blockbuster, I imagine. And I remember sitting in the basement of her house on the couch with her. No hanky-panky or anything. It was
okay.
I can't.
Clear.
That's not a very sexy movie.
It's really not.
This doesn't really set the mood.
That will kill the mood. Toot sweet.
No, we sat on the couch with a respectable distance, I'm sure, between us. And
like the gentleman that you are?
Yep. All the lights out and watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the scene when this is the first time you see Leatherface. It's the first kill of the movie. He pops out of the doorway of this little doorway in this house and kills one of the characters, Kurt. Hits him in the head with a mallet. And there's no music is the thing.
No.
So he Kurt kind of trips. And as he's tripping, Leatherface sort of pops out. There's no music. The sound of the mallet hitting his head, and then him like convulsing on the ground.
Yeah.
As he hits him again.
Yeah.
And then pulls him in, and then slides this shiny metal door that doesn't look like anything else in the house. Like, 'cause it's kind of a dilapidated old house.
Yeah.
This shiny metal door just boom, and as soon as the door shuts, the music starts. And
it was scary.
So scary. Yeah, it's like it really stuck with me, and it was like, oh my god, what are we watching?
Boner gone.
Yeah, Even high school, Justin was like, no, I'm not feeling it.
I can't move past that.
I'm not going to be able to move past this.
No.
This has set the tone for the night, and it's
the
not that kind of night.
Yeah, it is not going to be that kind of night. Now, was your lady friend also scared?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
By this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that one would have been higher for me, but I did not see that movie until like 2 years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
And I had already seen that particular scene many times because it is in the Bravo.
Yeah.
100 Scariest Movie, but it is terrifying, and I can imagine if I had seen that earlier.
Yeah, and it's really like you're already, because we're watching this many years later. This movie is notorious. It has a crazy reputation, and so it's like we already knew we were getting into something pretty scary, and you're waiting. It's like the first 20 minutes of the movie, it's just this unease and like, oh, these characters are or like this
terrible.
Yeah, like it's so, I don't know, it's off-putting, like how greasy and sweaty everything is.
Oh,
and then the actual scary stuff starts, and it's really, really jarring.
And you long for the days of the grease and the sweat.
Let's get back in the van, guys.
Let's get
back in the van. Okay, Amy, you're number 4.
Ooh. Now, I had a hard time choosing a moment from this movie because the whole movie scared me quite a bit. And again, watched this in high school. That is The Sixth Sense.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Specifically let me show you where my dad hides his gun. And then when he sees the little boy in the bathroom, which is earlier in the movie, I haven't seen it in a couple years. It might be the first ghost he sees in his house.
Gosh, I haven't watched that movie in years, but it is so scary and so good.
It is so scary, and I also had not seen it in years and probably watched it again like last year, the year before. Just kind of one of those, like, I'm sure it holds up, but let's see if it holds up kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, it's still so scary. There are many scary moments in that movie. But that one, he gets up to go pee in the middle of the night. And he's, of course, freaked out because he keeps seeing fucking dead people. And there's this little boy, and he's talking to him. And he's like something along the lines of, let me show you where my dad hides his gun. And he turns around, and the whole back of his head's blown off. And it's so fucking scary.
Yeah.
And I just remember watching that for the first time and being like, I'm going to watch the rest of this movie? This is...
The scene I always remember the most is the one with... What's her name from Misha Barton, where she's like foaming at the mouth in the tent. Oh my God,
that was up there too. That's up there too. That was actually on Bravo's. That was in the
top
20.
Yeah, that was in the list. That was on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, he just looks up and she's opened the tent up.
Or
no, yeah, she's in the tent. He looks up at the top,
gets in
and then
the tent.
The camera pans down and she's in the tent.
She's in the tent with him. Yeah.
She's like, I don't feel so good. You're like, oh my God. Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah. Terrifying movie. Still very scary.
Yep.
I don't know. Looking back, like, I'm not going to, everybody knows the twist of that movie. I'm sorry. It's over 25 years old now. I don't know how you couldn't tell that he is not real, like, not alive the whole movie. Like, watching back, knowing it.
That's the thing, though, is now that kind of twist is a trope. But it's a trope because of this movie. It's like, true. How could you not tell? Because 1,000 movies have done a lesser version of that twist.
But that's true, that when you first... And even though this movie came out in 99, I think, and I didn't see it for a couple years, it did not get spoiled for me.
It did get spoiled for me, I remember.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's going back to a movie we were just talking about, Psycho. It's like, how can you watch that now and not realize Norman's the killer? Like, of course he's the killer.
Yeah.
But it's like audiences at the time, it's like, we know because that's a trope now. Like, of course he's dressing like his mom and killing. Like, it's him that's doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But back then it was like mind-blowing when you first see it. Like, that's God.
This was a classic Shyamalanian twist.
It was the origin of the Shyamalanian twist.
It really was. Yep. So that's my number 4. What about you?
Number 4, I chose Pet Sematary.
God.
Which is all around just a very disturbing movie. It's still like, this movie has bad vibes. It's a good movie, but like, and I wouldn't say the movie has bad. The story has bad vibes. It's one of the scariest things Stephen King has ever written, I think. The movie is. I've read the book, and the movie's an actually pretty damn faithful adaptation of the book.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Again, it was kind of like, what scene do I choose? I don't know. But I think for me, it starts and stops with Zelda. The sister with the spinal meningitis, I believe she has, and the memories of the wife's character. It's her sister, and she's recalling the story about how she was left alone with her sick and dying sister, and then eventually like sees her in the house, and the Zelda character is just absolutely horrifying. And the scene where she opens the scene where she sees her in the bedroom, like at the end when she's walking around the house, and she's there, and it's like you can't really see her at first, and she's like hunched over, but she's standing, but she's like hunched over, and she has that voice, Rachel. And when she like runs at her and she's like, "You'll never walk again, never walk again." Oh my god!
It somehow makes the horrifying death of your toddler the second scariest.
I was gonna say, yeah, like the death of the tragic death of a 2-year-old is the second scariest thing in this movie.
That's correct.
Yeah,
by far.
And then his subsequent resurrection.
Yeah, and killing spree.
Yes.
Second scariest.
And then second death.
Yeah. Oh my god, and that movie does have bad vibes, and I don't know what that says about me, because anytime it's on Pluto, I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's not that it's a great movie. It's a really good horror movie. I say bad vibes. I don't mean it's a bad movie. It's a great movie. But back then, as a kid seeing it, it's upsetting, and now as an adult, it's still upsetting.
Yeah.
Like the subject matter is upsetting.
The subject matter is very upsetting. Yeah.
I mean, anytime you're going to kill a child, immediately right
and
there,
like,
this is not a fun horror movie.
It's not a romp.
No, it's not.
It's not a romp for the whole family. That's for sure. But it is like vibey in the way that, like, for me, like if we're talking like a all seasons horror movie, I could put this on in March. I could put this on in July. I could put this on in December. Like, it's just, it's got like an autumnal vibe, but it is very, I don't know, there's just
Plus it's got the incomparable Fred Gwynn.
I know. There's something about a Stephen King movie from
you don't
that
want to
time.
go down that road.
Sometimes, you don't want to go there.
You don't want to go down that road.
Oh,
sometimes dead is
better. Yeah. Yeah, there's just something about a Stephen King movie from that era that sometimes you just have a real hankering for. Mm-hmm. And that one always, like...
He really is the master.
What? It's not the same in any way, but I like the second one, too.
You know, I was talking to April about this, and we were kind of going over as I was making my list. And she says that the second one scares her more than the first one, even. And I wouldn't say... The second one doesn't scare me more, and it's not as good. But I think it was just because she saw that one a lot more.
Yeah.
And she's like, specifically the scene where he kills him with the motorcycle. That kills the kid with the motorcycle.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
more dead kids.
More dead kids. There you go. That one had it coming, though.
Yeah. Speaking of dead kids, let's go to my number 3, which is Hereditary.
Okay.
A more recent. Now, it's not the scene you think.
There's so many scenes in that movie. I think it could be. It's not what I'm specifically thinking of.
Beheading.
Okay. Okay.
It's not the beheading.
Which beheading? There's a couple.
Here's the thing. I lied. It is actually
It is a beheading. It's just not the other beheading.
It's just not the big one that happens like third of the way through the movie. It is.
It's the one at the end.
It's the one at the end. Now, Toni Collette, the incredible, incomparable Toni Collette, who should have won a fucking Oscar for this movie. I'm sorry.
Absolutely agree. She's fantastic in it.
She's incredible. There is a horrifying sequence at the end of this movie, and really it's the whole sequence, where you have the son who is, his mother is after him, and his mother played by Toni Collette, and he's in this dark house, and you're seeing lots of things in the shadow, lots of naked old people, like in the shadows of the house. Yes. It's so scary. And you see Toni Collette just like crawling on the ceiling, like behind him. It's so scary. But there is a cut to her, and she have like a necklace? Well, she's got something. It
was the necklace, yeah.
Yeah, the necklace. And she is sawing her own head off with that necklace.
She's garroting herself.
Justin, I saw that in theaters, and I screamed, and I put my hands up, and I like slid down in my seat. I was just like, this is fucking horrifying. That particular beheading.
Right.
In a movie full
the
of
other beheading is upsetting in its own right.
It's upsetting enough. The look on her face, it scared the shit out of me. And it was one of those things where it actually still bothers me. Of course, this movie's not that old. It's one of the ones that still bothers me. And I remember at the time being like, boy, there's not been an image in a movie that has really fucked with me in years.
Mm-hmm.
And then that movie came out, and I thought, oh, okay, we have a new one. Like,
there you go.
That one really, really scared the shit out of me.
I thought about Hereditary. I think Hereditary is one of the scariest modern horror movies. It's the scariest movie.
Oh.
One of the scariest movies in years. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's my number 3. Little Tony Collette.
Just
blowing the old head off. Oh, it's so scary. It's so scary. What do you got for number 3?
Number 3. I went with a formative one. These are all formative, let's be real.
Yeah.
But this one in particular, I feel like for our generation. If you are of a certain age, which is our age, this movie had an impact on you in one way or another. And that's the Blair Witch Project. And specifically, I went with the final scene in the house. And I will say that even maybe more so than the movie itself, there was a documentary that aired on Sci-Fi Channel called Curse of the Blair Witch that was... This was the first time we'd ever had like a real, what is now called a viral marketing campaign for a movie. And I mean, there was a lot, like I didn't know for a little while, like, is this real or not? Because they had this documentary and it sure looked real. Like,
100%, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, then it was like all of a sudden the star is on the Tonight Show and I'm like, oh, okay, good. They're not dead. But I thought it was genius.
So genius. I was going to say it was so genius to have this because, I mean, it really put that. And even when you go to watch the movie too, you're kind of like, but are we sure it's not real? Like,
are you sure?
I don't know.
It's so real feeling, and you don't really see anything in the movie. You don't ever see the monster, quote unquote.
No.
And
the titular Blair Witch.
The titular witchular.
The witchular.
The witchular. And this, the documentary I also thought gave a lot of context to sort of some of the things that happen in the movie, particularly the final scene where they have all been separated at this point and we're left with the girl. And she is looking for the two guys who have vanished, and finds the house, and her entire trip through the house, and the sounds of her voice, and how terrified she is, and the handprints on the walls, and the whole context of what this place is, and it's sort of, if you had watched the documentary, and they talk about it in the movie, so it's like where this is supposed to be. But the documentary gives sort of even more context to it. Yeah. And then finally, the final shot of the guy in the corner facing the wall in the basement. I saw this in the theater. Our mother took, because we were not old enough to get into the R-rated movie without a parent.
This was also 1999, wasn't it?
Yes, this was 99. And I remember a big group of my friends, some of which have been on the podcast.
That's right.
She took us, and this is not an our mom movie.
Not at all.
No, it's.
This was like when she took me to see Spice World. She was really taking one for the team.
Like, she was taking a bullet, and I appreciate it, Donna. And I still do appreciate her taking the bullet because it was so important to us that we see this movie, because it was like this cultural thing.
And you'd watch the documentary.
And it was the summer of Blair Witch. Like, this was the thing. Yes. And I was like, I got to see this movie. And it was worth it. Like, a lot of people didn't like it. I don't know. I think I would like to know kind of the popular opinion on Blair Witch now, because I feel like it got a lot of backlash at the time because it was so different. And then you had, it really spawned. It wasn't the first found footage movie, but it was the first big found footage movie, so it spawned lots, basically a whole subgenre of horror, of found footage, and of course, it was such a big cultural touchstone that, you're right, it was
parodied.
It was parodied to death.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would like to I'd love to get an impression of a Gen Zer who grew up with viral marketing for movies, and found footage has been a thing for their whole life if they're watching horror movies.
Right.
So I would love to see kind of an opinion of someone now, because I thought it was scary then. I think it's scary now.
Yes.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's extremely creative. I think it's a great story. I think that the cast, the 3 people in the cast, are all very real and likable.
I was going to say, it is one of those where, and I would even say this with the first Paranormal Activity movie, which of course was like the next huge found footage movie. I feel like, especially with this, like the acting is so authentic that it really sells you. Like, and you have to buy into it, because
that's the thing. It's like at the first inclination of some bad CGI or something, it's gonna break the immersion.
Yes, so you have to buy into it. Of the like, is this real? Like and I mean, I think there were still a lot of people going into the movie not knowing is this real
absolutely,
or not, because maybe they didn't see that somebody was on the Tonight Show or whatever. Like,
exactly,
they watched this documentary or they didn't, and they're like, I mean, they sold it to you like this was real.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing. And that's what I think is so genius about this marketing. And you couldn't do it today. Like, you just couldn't.
Yeah,
no, and it was really just like of its time. And it, like you said, it was the first huge smash, like found footage hit, that, like you said, has spawned a lot of lesser than movies, but also a lot of great found footage movies as well.
Sure.
I actually thought about this scene and I almost put it in my top 5, but I didn't see this movie till way later in life.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And by that point, I knew I'd seen it parodied to death. I'd seen that final scene many, many, many times. It was in the Bravo's Top 100 Scariest Movie Moments.
Yep.
But I still found the movie great and scary. I had just, by the time I saw it, that was not as effective to me because I had seen so much about it. So.
All right, number 2.
Number 2. This is going to be The Ring.
That's my number 2.
Is it really?
Let's just knock it out of the way right now. That was also my number 2. Is it The Girl in the
Closet?
I debated.
That's mine.
I debated. The Girl in the Closet, I think, is certainly one of the best jump scares I've ever seen.
Of all time, yeah.
But honestly, there's so many scenes in The Ring that are scary.
So many.
I just went, I went with the climactic, her coming through the TV, because I was just not expecting it at the first time, and it just...
No.
And also the theater experience I had, and I'll probably talk about that more in the next episode, was just incredible. And... This was a big one for me, The Ring. And I was in high school. I was probably like 16 years old, I would say, about when this came out. And Amy, I know you can back me up on this. I slept with the lights on for several nights.
Yes.
After I saw The Ring. Like, that was the last movie that made me feel like little kid scared of, like, I need the light. I'm so scared I need the lights on in the room. And I was 16 years old. Like, I was way too old for that. And this movie scared the shit out of me.
This movie was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
This was 2002, I believe. And this was really before I had started watching scary movies in earnest. But it was everybody's talking about this movie. And I also had a very good theater experience with it. I can remember watching it in a packed theater, back row with my friend and her mom. And they loved scary movies, particularly my friend's mom. And I mean, I watched that whole thing through my fingers because it was, I mean, the dead girl in the closet, I think it's Amber Tamblyn, her character in the closet, the image, it's not just the jump scare is so effective.
Yeah.
But that image, talk about like close your eyes at night and that's what you see. I have to keep the light on. It's that. Oh, I mean, I think by the end when she climbs out of the TV, I was so dissociated. I was just like, oh my God.
You had left your body at that point.
I had left my body in the Carmike cinemas. Like, I was so fucking scared. And I think I've told this story on the pod before, but I remember watching TV in Mom's room, in Mom and Dad's bedroom, because everybody else was watching something downstairs, and I wanted to watch something. She's like, go on up there and watch it. and something happened. This was like a week after I'd seen the movie, and something happened and the channel went out and it went to white static. And I hauled ass out of their room and I was like, nope.
Did I not tell you? Have I ever told you about what happened to me right after that? For something very similar. It was when Mom and Dad, I think their TV must have been on the fritz.
Maybe they were pranking us.
Maybe, because I remember being
like,
up there and all our bedrooms
movie.
were right close to each other, so I was
Yes,
probably in my bedroom. And their TV popped on just to static. Like, out of nowhere.
TV was on the fritz.
It must have been. Because it was right after I saw that, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? No! And that led to another couple nights with the lights on.
That movie has got to be like, I feel like for our generation who were in high school when that movie came out, like that was probably the fucking scariest movie any of us had seen.
Yeah.
To that point.
It was like a water cooler thing. Everybody was talking about that movie.
And that was a lot of why I was like, fine, I'll go. Like the FOMO, you know?
Yeah.
I just want, and being like, this is way too scary for me.
I am not prepared for this.
I was not prepared. I love that was both our number 2.
I have a feeling I know what your number 1 is, but I want you.
You do know what my number 1 is going to be.
I think so.
And it is a unconventional pick.
Okay.
Because a lot of people I don't think have seen this movie.
Okay.
Maybe they have. I don't know. My number 1 is Lake Mungo.
Okay.
Which, if you know me, you've heard me talk about this movie. So maybe my friends have, seen this maybe because of my recommendation. I watched this because of your recommendation, and it ruined my life.
You're welcome.
So, I am gonna spoil. Should I spoil?
No. I wouldn't spoil. Because it's a relatively new movie. There's this. I'm guessing you're talking about the scene where she sees something on the cell phone footage.
Yes.
That's sort of the climactic.
Vague.
Yeah, be kind of vague because I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this, and I'm going to back you up and say, this is not my number 1, but it's one of the scarier movies I've ever seen.
Yes,
it's a huge recommendation for me. I love it. Again, it's a mockumentary.
I was going to say,
let's just real.
I won't tell you necessarily the moment.
Yeah.
Although it is my number 1 moment. But to tell you, I would have to spoil things. So I'll just give you the premise of the movie. I believe it's on like Tubi or Shudder or something to watch. It's up somewhere, I believe. And it is a mockumentary set in Australia. And talk about feeling real. It feels like it's a real documentary. The acting is so good. It essentially... it follows a family. They've got 2 teenage kids and their daughter. They go out swimming in a lake on Christmas Day, which, of course, in Australia is very summery. So they go out swimming on Christmas Day, and their daughter disappears. And a couple days later, they find her body. She has drowned. So that's not really a spoiler. But in her death, this family is grieving, and they also start to find out kind of secrets about her life. And things that she was, hiding from them while she was alive. So that's kind of the premise.
While also experiencing what they feel like is
a haunting,
paranormal activity in their home that they feel like might be her.
Yes.
Now, the first time I watched this movie I remember I was this was like, I think before I even met April. It was, now that I'm thinking about it, it had to have been pretty new.
This movie came out in like 2008.
That's the year I met April. So it was very early on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember being in my old apartment. And I was there alone, and it was the middle of the day, and I was cleaning, right? I was like, okay, this is going to be cleaning afternoon. I'm getting into cleaning mode. Yeah. Got all my stuff out, ready to scrub. And
your toilet scrubber. And
got my scrubbers and my brushes and all my cleaning stuff, and we're cleaning the apartment today. And so I went on to Netflix.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to put on some...
Now, was this streaming, or did you have this in the mail?
No, this was streaming. Was
this mailed
because
to you?
I picked it right in the moment. And I picked it in the moment because from the artwork and the description, I was like, this is going to be like a C-level horror movie that's going to be like good for a watch, good to have on in the background, but I don't really have to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
While I focus on cleaning. Well, I was really wrong, and I remember it started, and it drew me in immediately, and I sat, Amy, and I watched that entire movie with like
with a rag in your hand.
No, I'm not joking. I like had the duster and rag in my hand. I had all like the big lights were all on, right? So I had turned on all
so
the lights
so I could see every dust
everything,
mote,
so I could clean, you know.
Yeah.
And I sat there and watched the whole movie with all the lights on, the big ceiling lights, with all the cleaning supplies. And I didn't get started cleaning until after the movie was done, because I was like, I was so drawn into it, and it was so scary, and I finished it and was just like, that was so much more than I thought it was going to be. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it really has developed a cult following now. It really does have a following. And yeah, I'd absolutely recommend Lake Mungo to anyone. It's one of the best ghost story movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And also it's very real, and it's very sad.
It is.
And
I mean, because at its core, it's about this family grieving their daughter.
That's what it is. Like, yes, it's a ghost story, but it's about this family losing their child, and so it's heavy, you know.
More dead kids again.
More dead kids. Hey, speaking of dead kids.
Oh, we going to your number one?
My number one is The Shining.
Oh, yes.
Now, I did debate. I really don't know if I could pick. The two scenes that I keep going back and forth on are the lady in the bathtub, which fucked me up really bad. I was so scared to get up and go pee in the middle of the night. I had to pull the shower curtain back. I had to see in the tub. I had to make sure there was nothing in the tub. So it's either that or it's Danny seeing the girls in the Grady twins in the hallway. It's like the third time, like you've seen him right at the point of view. Shot of him riding his like tricycle thing, all through on the floors and the carpets and running around the hotel, and you've seen it like 2 or 3 times at this point, and nothing has happened. And then all of a sudden something does happen, and he sees the girls and the flashes of the aftermath of their murders. That he's getting in his head between like seeing them standing in the hallway beckoning. Come play with us forever.
And then just them murdered.
And flashing to their murdered body and the same hallway.
Yeah,
but
right
covered
there.
in blood and chaos and gore. And him just like shaking in terror. Oh my God. Like
it's
The Shining is for me. I like if I had to say like what's your favorite horror story of all time, I think it's The Shining. Both the book and the movie. I don't know. It's like in my DNA or something. I don't typically reread a lot of books. Like once I've read a book, that's kind of it. The Shining I've read multiple times as a teenager and as an adult. It's one I just revisit a lot, and
I've never read it.
We gotta fix that now. Now, Amy.
Now.
One of my favorite books, one of my favorite movies, just absolutely essential to my love of horror. I have and we're going to talk about The Shining more in the next episode with just my love of it and my memories of it. So The Shining is my number one. Either the woman in the bathtub, but probably the girls in the hallway. Just absolutely fucked me up for life.
Yeah, you could choose just about any moment from that.
I was going to say, and there's plenty of other moments too.
And there's plenty of other ones. And honestly, even as an adult, there are ones that are even scarier to me now that weren't as a kid. Like when he's following her up the stairs and he's like, I'm just going to bash your head in. Like, that's scarier to me now than it was as a kid. You know?
That whole scene, the no all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Oh, God, when she finds out.
She finds the manuscript, and I always thought to me, it was like, that's so fucking scary because you're realizing that not only is he crazy, but how long he has been going crazy. And the thought of like the person I'm sleeping next to every night is losing their mind.
And also, I'm fucking stuck here on a mountain.
And yes, exactly.
And only them.
Yeah, that too.
and my child who I have to take care of. Like, oh, it's that deep dread that I feel like as an adult you can appreciate more. Like, it's scarier now than the scary imagery that would have been scarier.
Yeah, because
when you were a kid.
the best stories also always have, the best horror stories also have real life, real life scary implications. Like the, the real stuff, the things that real people actually deal with in the real world in this movie, like alcoholism and domestic violence, and stuff like that. It's scary as a kid, and it's scary as an adult too, and the fear of something happening to your child.
Yes, but it's like the ghosts in the Overlook they're still scary as an adult, but it's less scary almost than the real stuff of being like, I'm sleeping next to a crazy person.
I'm sleeping next to someone who is becoming violently insane.
And is going to kill me.
Yeah.
Like, and my child. Like, that's scarier. That movie is, I mean, to say it's a masterpiece is really just underselling it, but it truly is. And I could see why it is your number one.
Well, good. I'm glad you agree. We're in agreement on that. A solid.
I hope that everybody
enjoyed.
This is a nice long episode for everybody.
Yeah, this is a long one. I liked it.
I did too. I hope everybody enjoyed our top 5. It's a good podcast. I stand by it. I hope everybody enjoyed our talk today on Monster Mania and Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments, and the addition of our top 5 Scariest Movie Moments.
There you go.
Which is really a great segue into our next episode. So
yep, our next episode, we've already announced it on social media. Yep. We're doing the Ghoul Kids Club Halloween special. Yeah, and this year's topic is scary movies that made us. So it's going to be kind of a continuation of this discussion we've been having for the last 30 minutes.
Absolutely. So if you enjoyed that, tune in. We're going to have another one. All right. Well, Justin, you want to give us some plugs before we wrap it up?
Should we do the plugs or should we pop the tape out?
We got to pop the tape out first.
We got to pop the tape out?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go ahead and
pop it out. Until next year, pop the Halloween tape out. All right. Let's do some plugs. You can find this podcast, of course, anywhere. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, CoolKidsClubPod.com. Go there. Yeah. Wherever you found it. You can follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads at Cool Kids Club Pod. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search for Cool Kids Club Podcast. We are fairly active on all of that these days. If you would like to follow my kind of sister account for My Nerd Room, and I feel like we're maybe going to have another one in the near future, though that's just a little tease for you.
It might.
You can follow Cool Kid Clubhouse. That's my account dedicated to all my my room full of nerdy stuff. A lot of horror, a lot of movies, and just general nostalgia and fun goodness that I love. So check that out. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't thank Brian. Hey guys, Wakefield.
Hey guys.
Hey Ghouls, Wakefield.
Good
for
one.
our Ghoul Kids Club theme and all of our themes, and we love him to death. And I think that's about all the plugs, right?
That's about it.
Plugged it up.
So, until next time, stay ghoul.
Stay ghoul. God, I love Halloween. I love it.